Greetings, Murgetroid fans. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you a new proximity detector that I added to the Murgetroid. As you recall, last video I explained that the spin rings seem to have about 1,000-hour lifetime, and I was concerned about that, so I chose to add a proximity detector which allowed the Murgetroid to spin up if somebody's around and not spin if somebody isn't. So that's what we'll be looking at today. These days I keep the Murgetroid in our living room. Here you see it's displaying the no spin show because right now I'm far from the Murgetroid and it thinks no one's around. But as I walk closer to it, you'll see the yellow lights turn on at the base. Murgetroid will spin itself up and continue the show. You'll also notice here that I have over here the control for the Murgetroid base using my graphical user interface. This is how actually I turn on and off the Murgetroid when I want to go up to bed. I don't touch it at all, the Murgetroid at all. I just flip that switch there and the Murgetroid turns itself off. I'll have more about this GUI later in the video. Playing now is the no spin show. After about an hour, the Murgetroid will spin up for a short period of time, and if no one is around, it'll spin down again. My thinking was to reposition the stationary panels inside the reflecting infinity hex in order to get a different perspective and view of the stationary show that's going on. Incorporating the proximity detector into the Murgetroid actually turned out to be more difficult than I had imagined. I found various software and hardware bugs in the process, but I spent considerable time fixing them as well as adding cool new features and controls to the base graphical user interface, the GUI. At this point, I'm very pleased with the reliable operation of the Murgetroid and the proximity detector. The non-spinning show is a subset of the full spinning show. This is because there are many shows that rely on the Murgetroid spinning. Things such as my text display and cylindrical coordinates require the spin. I spent a lot of time developing the non-spin show, primarily because I could reuse the work in the music productions I'm currently working on. At this time, the non-spin show consists of random sets of non-random tweens. What this means is that I created 24 separate shows. I call them beat shows. Each beat show consists of at least one tween. As you might recall from my last video, a tween is an animated shape. I generated tween by giving my tween code the starting and ending image shapes, and then the code generates as many in-between images as I desire. The starting shape transforms into the ending shape and then back again. The reason I call this a beat show is because with the music capability I'm working on, I can trigger the animation frames with each beat of music being played, which is a really cool effect. However, in this case, for the no spin show, I trigger the beat shows with a constant beat that is internally generated. At any given time during the non-spin show, you are observing 3 randomly selected beat shows. And that gives us well over 12,000 random combinations, which before you could possibly repeat the show again. One of the many challenges I had was to make the transitions between spinning and non-spinning shows operate bug-free. For this to occur, I had to communicate to the spinning head that the spinning was about to stop and that a non-spinning show was about to begin. I chose to do this communication using a spare slip ring signal that connects the microprocessor in the base to the microprocessor in the spinning head. There are other ways to do this, but I felt this was the fastest and easiest, and I went with that. What I'm showing here is the graphical user interface that I designed to control the base electronics of the Murgetroid. This is the graphical user interface that controls the motor speed and the display of various sensors such as earthquake, over temperature, and so forth. I added a bunch of new features here in association with the proximity detector, such as an on-off switch, indication of whether there's a proximity around, anybody around, whether or not I'm communicating with the spinning head. I added a fan control such that when the Murgetroid isn't spinning, the fan only turns on if the motor is too hot. And the motor, as you recall, motor temperature is one of the things I do monitor. So this is also, I should mention, I added a control to make a no spin show. So if you don't want the Murgetroid to spin, you just flip that switch and it'll stop spinning and you'll get to see the no spin show I showed you guys earlier. On October 18th through 20th of this year, I'm hoping to demonstrate the Murgetroid at what's called a Maker's Fair. This will be held at Mare Island, just north of San Francisco. A Maker's Fair is a place where people like myself can demonstrate things they've made, custom cars, electronic gizmos of all kinds, custom clothing. And it's quite a fun place to be and see. So I hope you all can make it. In any case, as part of that application process, I'm making a video of the various aspects of the Murgetroid and shows. I'll be making that next. In any case, if you want to keep up to date on the Murgetroid, please do subscribe. Thank you all for watching. Bye-bye.